Good afternoon, students. So yesterday we had completed some phyla, that is regarding Porifera, Ctenophora, Cnidaria, Platyhelminthes, and also we completed that Arthropoda along with Mollusca. And today let us discuss about the Aschelminthes and Annelida. Now first let us discuss about the Aschelminthes. Aschelminthes, Nana. This is one of the important for NEET point of view. One of the important for NEET point of view. And I think everybody knows this Aschelminthes. The body is circular in cross section. Here in the Aschelminthes, the body is said to be circular in cross section. As the body is circular in cross section, we call these as roundworms, hence the name called roundworms. So you are calling the Aschelminthes as roundworms. They are commonly called as roundworms. Why they are why they are called as roundworms means their body is said to be circular in cross section, hence they are called as roundworms. And these are triploblastic animals. Everybody knows this. These are triploblastic animals. And all triploblastic animals showing which type of symmetry? With bilateral symmetry. And all triploblastic animals showing organization, organ system grade organization. It is showing organ system grade organization. And these are specially called pseudo-coelomate animals. What do you call these animals as? Pseudo-coelomate condition. So these are the triploblastic animals showing bilateral symmetry, organ system grade organization, and pseudo-coelomate condition. What is pseudo-coelomate condition? The animals in which the body cavity is not formed by mesoderm or not lined by mesoderm are called as pseudo-coelomate phylum. And mostly these are said to be free living and terrestrial. These may be free living. Some are said to be free living or free living, and some are parasitic. And we are clearly saying some are said to be parasitic. And here a few are terrestrial or some are terrestrial. What is the meaning of terrestrial? They are present on the land, terrestrial, and act as parasites. And these are the worms which act as parasites. You know what is parasite? The organism which lives on the host body or inside the host body for their nutrients and shelter are called parasites. These are terrestrial and act as parasites on both plants and animals. On both plants as well as animals. These are acting as parasites on both plants as well as animals. For the first time, digestive system. If we observe the digestive system, we are clearly saying that digestive system is said to be complete. Is complete with both. It contains anterior mouth for taking the food material, and it is having the posterior anus for the removal of waste material. The digestive system is said to be complete with both mouth and anus. And this is the digestive system which contain muscular pharynx. Sir, you are clearly saying that the pharynx is muscular. Yes. Well developed alimentary canal with muscular pharynx means the only part of alimentary canal which is highly muscular is pharynx. All the remaining parts are non-muscular. Okay, right. And here an excretory tube. In the body there is an excretory tube, and this is the excretory tube which collects nitrogen waste. They collect digested waste. An excretory tube which collects digested waste from the body and sent out through an excretory pore and sent out through an excretory pore. We are clearly saying that they are sent out through an excretory pore. It means the body is having an excretory tube which is collecting digested waste from the body and is sent out through an excretory pore. That's an important. What about the sexes? We are clearly saying the sexes are separate. So, yesterday also we talked that sexes are separate in case of arthropods also, dioecious. Means male and females are said to be separate. Then what about the fertilization? As the sexes are separate, the fertilization is mostly occur inside the body. Hence the fertilization may be internal. Then what about the development, sir? The development, if we observe, we clearly said that the development may be indirect with larva. May be indirect with larva. Or it may be direct. Or may be direct. In the case of direct development, the young ones which are born here resemble adults. The young ones resembles adult forms. The young ones called zooniles that resemble the adult forms. That's an important. So this is the fertilization. We said that as internal, and these are clearly said that it is said to be dioecious. So this is one of the important point now. This is one of the most important point. And next, we clearly said that males sexes are separate. How is the male? Do you know one thing? This is the male. This is the male, where here anus or cloaca is present and a pair of spicules are present. Whereas this is the female. And here the anus is present, here the female gonopore is present. What is this? Female gonopore, which is also called as vagina, whereas this is called anus. Okay, and whereas this is called cloaca. And these are called pineal spicules. The other name for pineal spicules are also called as copulatory spicules, which is very much important. Okay, if we observe the male and female, there is a good differentiation between male and female. Sir, how can you differentiate the male and female? Males are shorter, whereas females are longer. Whereas males are thinner, whereas females are said to be thicker. Whereas males posterior end is curved. The male's posterior end is curved. And do you know one thing? And cloaca is present at that end. Cloaca at that end. What is the meaning of this, Nana? Cloaca is present at the curved end. Okay, right. And females posterior end is straight. Female's posterior end is said to be straight, and anus is present at that end. Straight and anus at a hind end. The meaning of hind end means posterior end. And a pair of pineal spicules. A pair of pineal spicules are also called as copulatory spicules. A pair of pineal spicules or copulatory spicules at a cloacal end or at the cloaca, and here they are said to be absent. The pineal spicules or copulatory spicules are absent, but a female gonopore, we are clearly saying that what is the pore, Nana? Female gonopore present at a anterior 1/3 of the body, at anterior 1/3 end of the body. At the anterior 1/3 end of the body, what is the structure that is present? A female gonopore, otherwise called vulva, is said to be present at that region. That's an important. Female gonopore is also called as vulva. That's not important. You remember this point enough. And what are the sensory organs may be present here? The sensory organs Do you know the sensory organs includes in this are two types of sensory organs. They are having anterior amphids which act as chemoreceptors, and they are also having posterior phasmids which are glandulosensory structures. Thus you are clearly saying that anterior chemoreceptor or anterior phasmids, amphids, and posterior phasmids are said to be present. Anterior amphids and this is the posterior phasmids are said to be present. Sensory organs includes both amphids and phasmids. And once again, let you see the differentiation between this as these are said to be, males are said to be short, these are thinner, and the posterior end is said to be curved, and cloaca is present at their anterior end. A pair of copulatory spicules at cloaca is present and they are absent here. Then what are the examples related to this? The most important examples, very well known examples. One is the ascaris. I think everybody knows this. Ascaris is called as common roundworm. Common roundworm. And Ochraria bancrofti. And this is the Ochraria bancrofti, which is called as filarial worm. Enterobius vermicularis nana. Then what do you call the enterobius? The enterobius is called as pinworm. Ankylostoma. This is the Ankylostoma duodenale, which is called as nothing but a hookworm. Thus you are clearly saying that these are the parasitic worms which are present inside the body. Maybe these are the endoparasites, you can say that. These are the endoparasites of human. This is the ascaris, which is living in the small intestine of man. Ochraria, which lives in the lymph vessels of man. And Ankylostoma, which lives at duodenum. Like this. These are the specialized for parasitism in the host of the human being. This is one of the most important phylum that you must learn carefully. And here don't forget that development includes 4 molds. Development of every parasitic worm includes the development. It includes 4 moldings. 4 molds. That is one of the important points. So this is very much important for NEET point of view. Dear students, please read this very carefully. And whenever we observe this, each and every point we have to read. Among these, the most important point is digestive system with well-developed muscular pharynx. Digestive system with well-developed muscular pharynx is seen in case of Aschelminthes. The one and only pseudocoelomate phylum that we have seen here is Aschelminthes. And name the phylum which is acting as parasites on both plants and animals. That is also Aschelminthes. Males are clearly distinct from the females. Sexual dimorphism is said to be seen in case of Aschelminthes. Body is circular in cross section. This is one of the most important. Body is circular in cross section. Important for NEET to know. As the body is circular in cross section, we call these worms as roundworms. One of the important for NEET point of view. These are triploblastic, bilateral symmetrical, showing organ system grade organization. And this is also the protostomian phylum, in which mouth is the first opening of the gut, alimentary canal. So that's an important. So digestive system point is important. An excretory tube which collects a digestive waste from the body surface and from the body and sent out through an excretory pore. That's an important. Okay. And here the sense organs are amphids, anterior chemoreceptors, phasmids, posterior glandulosensory structures. And name the phylum in which the development, if it is indirect, surely the larva undergoes 4 moldings to become adult. That is also an important point. How can you differentiate the male from the female of the nematodes? The differentiation between male and females and the diagram related to that are like this. So dear students, you have to see this. And they may ask this in the form of match the following, as it is important. Examples for NEET point of view. Example with characteristic is important. Okay. So very rarely they are asking questions from this chapter. That is why we had given list for priority to this chapter. Okay, right. And this is one of the important. You please study.